It was all jumbled.
Everyone but me.
Hello?
I mean,
might
it
be the
really
case.
looks to be the one that is on pace for this weekend. He likes this track seemingly, but they're quite similar to the Cobots in that they're front-wheel drive, really light cars, but these are lower horsepower and lighter weight than them. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with them.
I must agree that I think Chile is set to win here at Donington. We did place our bets on Chile last time, and it turned out to be quite different than we expected with the COVID Cup in Mount Panorama. Don't you remember that?
Yeah, well, this part of the track features the Melbourne Hairpin, I believe it's called, or the Melbourne Hairpin. Can't remember, it's something along those lines, but it's a difficult double apex corner, which, if the plans did go ahead back in 2010, if they proposed an F1 layout, which honestly I prefer over the normal Donington layout, but unfortunately that did not come to pass. Anyway, we see the first lap times coming in. Goose is actually the one in P1 by 4/10 at the minute from Chile, and forecast is 2 seconds from Goose disqualified. The mod isn't actually, I don't think it's the castle anywhere near here. I think that is a power plant, you mean? And that's just down the road. There is a factory. This area is kind of the industrial estate of the Midlands, where you got, I think, Midlands Airport just over past the eastern side of the circuit, I believe. The other end of where the pit straight is, but it is a decent little track in the centre of Great Britain, and is good track for, I'd say, these slower cars. Quite fun to drive. Yeah. Herbert is a decent driver. He's obviously P4 at the minute. We've seen what he can do. And to be honest, I keep getting him and Eagle mixed up. I won't lie. But they're both good drivers in their own respect. Eagle having not really the best of times. Can't really get a lap together. We got two people in pit lane. 1 minute 25 to go. Goose still on pole position by the 4/10.
I would reckon Eagle shines more in the oval rather than sports car.
True, but he does have pace. So does a couple of the newcomers. I've never seen Rio and Doma in BeamGP before, so it's good to see new faces in this new season. Obviously, this is the first ranked season since the BeamGP has gone down. I'd say season because we have a few ranked races beforehand, but this is the first proper championship we are going to have this season. 6 races across all the series. Yeah. Chile does improve on his time anyway, from 4/10 down to 180 milliseconds to Goose, but it isn't enough. Goose is on pole at the minute, and will we see anyone move a position? Chile's going to be best second. We've Rio comes across the line in P6. Rybread P4. We will go on board with forecasts in a due moment. He is coming through the last corner now. Will he be able to go up anywhere into the positions? From 2 seconds, the checkered flag is now flying properly, and he actually won't get enough time to set his lap. He was almost there, but could not get anywhere. Your final positions is Goose on pole position, Chili in P2, Noodle in P3, Rybread P4, Forecast 5th, Rio 6th, Doma 7th, Tim 8th, Eagle 9th, and that's it. Now we will be moving shortly on to the race now. Yeah, sorry. Okay, sorry. But I mean, I honestly forgot that you do it. Anyway, five red lights.
And off we go.
And away we go. Good start from Goose. Chile is a slow start. Already down to P4 on the outside of the corner. Going in to turn 1 now. Noodle on the inside of Goose. Goose comes across. Noodle almost into the gravel. Loses 1 position, 2 position, down to P4. Rybread up to P2. And Forecast, good start from him. And it's up to P3. In through the S now. Goose off into the gravel. Rye does follow him through. Nearly 3 abreast coming up the hill. Past the old viaduct now. Up the hill side by side. Rybread and Forecast. Noodle, sorry, that's not Rybread. Noodle up into P3 now. Forecast on the outside gets a little bit wide. Down the inside, Chili looks, but will he make a move? It's a difficult corner to make a move. Makes a bit of contact, but Chili forces his way through. Forecast has dropped down behind Tim as well. Who's still out in the lead, possibly caught up by Rybread. The slipstream will be quite effective for these little tiny cars. Coming into the S's now, your top 3, Goose, Rybread, followed by Noodle, Chili in P4, Tim, then Eagle, then a battle of 3 for Forecast, Doma and Rio. And who's that? Noodle up by Chili now. Chili's going to look on the outside for the last corner of the hairpin. You don't really know what to get on the brakes or accelerate around this corner. It's a difficult corner for all the drivers. Chile will look to get a better exit coming into lap 2 now, into turn 1, but he does not seem to get that. He gets a much worse start over Noodle. Coming into lap 2 now, everyone's kind of single file, kind of getting into the groove of things. Goose already a 1.4 second gap to the next car. We see, anyway, back to Chile. Chile getting a good exit out of turn 2. Back on the back of the little yellow car of Noodle. Looks on the inside for the right hander. Will he make the move? It's pinched on at the apex. Great racing from these two. We come into the right-hander. I need to learn the corner names around here. But anyway, Noodle seems to be slow at the apex of that corner. He goes a bit wide, touches a bit of gravel. Will Chile be able to do rinse and repeat on Forest? Yes, he does. It goes down. It's on. He rolls. Oh, he almost rolls into the barrier. Noodle goes. That's a poor move from Chile. Put his competitor into the wall. Noodle dropping positions like a stone now. Where would he come out? He comes out just beside Rio. No, he's still in the gravel as we speak. Back to into second last, but there's no doubt that that car will have damage at this point. Very unfortunate for him. Oh, Eagle into the grass. Noodle will get a position once again. Will Dama be able to capitalize on as well? Down the inside, looks for the hairpin. Noodle goes off as well in front of him into the gravel trap. Luckily, the corner, there's lots of space for that gravel trap, but it definitely looks like Noodle will have to get into pit lane now. Goose just there, set the first lap of the race at 1:41.9. Yeah, Real in pit lane. The purple car obviously has some sort of damage from a little kerfuffle in the back of the grid. On to lap 3 now. Just over 11 minutes to go now here in Donington Park. Noodle not happy with Chile on his radio. Not gonna repeat what he said though. Eagle is off, correct. In turn 1, that's the second time he's off in a span of 3 or 4 corners. He went wide at the fast chicane where he goes onto the
and Doma goes up into the gravel.
Oh, that's a... Well, Jarvis seems to be struggling around here at Donington. Doma facing the wrong way, the newcomer, I believe, for BeamGP.
Oh, Noodle almost hits him.
Oh my god, Noodle is way off. Did Noodle box?
I don't think he did. Let's check on him.
Yeah, Noodle did not box. It's just kind of strange. You'd think he'd box after the collision with the wall earlier, but anyway, Rio is up to, after boxing, is up ahead of Doma and is going to look onto the back of Noodle now. Onto the outside, he is onto the grass. Both Noodles onto the gravel. I think these drivers are doing a bit of rallycross at this point. Doma on the back of Rio now. Onto the inside. This is where Noodle had his incident, but Doma gets ahead at the apex. And Rio
goes off into the gravel again.
He must have more damage.
Yeah, there is some damage that we're not seeing. Now Noodle behind in the picture.
Yeah, Noodle just behind. He does have damage as we've seen before. We are
now
back
follow it right,
to it. Goose had a worse lap last lap, a 1:46.5 compared to behind a 1:44.5 for Rybread, and even faster still, a 1:42.8 for Chile behind. This might become close, but as we come to the end of the race, so stick around for that. We've 9 minutes to go here in the race. My brain is, yeah. Everyone kind of in their own world at the minute. No one's really close enough to have a battle, but close enough to be able to get maybe a dabble of slipstream. Yeah, Noodle's still struggling with that damage. He's resilient in not boxing, but he is in last.
And Rio is off. They almost make contact yet again.
Yeah, another off track for Rio. At this point, we might as well we might as well just turn this into a rallycross race with the way these drivers are driving. But anyway, a few penalties
And
going
it goes
about.
off again. He's gonna roll over. He isn't, luckily, but he's gonna have to pit soon because if he keeps driving like this, he's gonna cause a collision with someone else.
Yeah. Chile looks to be going a lot faster than Rybred. He's coming up onto the back of him now. I'd say about a second separates P2 and P3 for getting a higher podium position. We did doubt Chile is looking to recover after the poor start he had. But Goose seems to be running away with this, don't you disagree?
I think I do agree Goose is running away with it, but I think Rybred and Chile might give him a run for his money, but they will have a fight for P2 coming up soon.
There's a new fastest lap for Goose, 1:37.1 on the last lap. That is 3 seconds quicker than Rybred and 5 seconds quicker than Chile. Chile losing maybe a bit of time on that lap now. But he's still in the back from forecast as well, looking to get past Tim. Not too far behind. He was 2 seconds off quicker on the last lap, and he looks to be gaining through the S section now. Coming in to the right-hander. This right-hander is quite difficult. It's an uphill, blind apex, double apex even. It's really easy to get it wrong and understeer off into the gravel trap. Onto the back straight now. Chile will be looking to catch up to Rybred in second. The green and white car, resembling almost the Xbox 360. Chile is off in the gravel behind. He did a bit of an excursion, had to cut the chicane, but it doesn't look like it affected him that much. He doesn't get a penalty from it, surprisingly. Anyway, back in the further back of the grid, Rio overtakes Noodle for P8. So, yeah. Yeah, Rybred's off. Rybred's way off the track. He loses P2 to Chile now, but they will be on the back of each other. This battle has just gotten interesting. I don't know what happened to Rybred. He went way wide in the final corner, and it almost took the national away, it looked like. Rybred on the back of Chile. He'll look on the inside, does not get the move done. He's almost pushing along through the apex into turn 1. He will just get a worse exit, but he will have slipstream coming into the S's now. Down the hill. You can see the corners coming up to you. 8 seconds separate Goose. Goose is down the inside, goes Rybred on the apex to make a bit of contact. But Chile does manage to keep it on the road, maybe getting a bit taste of his own medicine coming into this race. Chile 1 second penalty, and Rybred has a 2 second penalty, so that will affect him in this battle, but he will still try and fight it out. Coming in to the uphill right-hander now. This is where Chile hit a Noodle earlier on in the race. We will see Rybred probably get a lot of slipstream coming down. Will he be able to make a move into the chicane or possibly the hairpin? We will tuck in behind. 7/10 separate them now. It's just about within slipstream range. You can see him closing in ever so slightly. Well, he's going to go late on the brakes and try to get Chile back. He will not like the fact he is losing out so much time to Chile out to that mistake. He's going to be hitting himself over that little mistake on the last corner. Into the hairpin we go. Rybred seems to have caught up a lot more. 6/10 now separate the drivers. 4/10 now separating even less into the final quarter. It's where Rybred a lap ago made a mistake. Chile taking a longer line. Rybred tugging the inside, but we'll get a lesser exit. 4 minutes 30 to go now in the race 1 here at the Aria Cup at Donington. Into turn 1 we go.
Onboard can get really close. Doesn't make the move to behind. I think he's just waiting till the last lap to make a move on Chile.
Yeah, it'll be a difficult race, but we don't know how long it is going to take. Further down the inside, he looks Rybred. He doesn't go for the move once again. Same corner as last time. They will go single file once again up the hill. Coming in to the right-hander, taking as much apex as he can. Rybred looks for a move on the inside, but does not look to get the move at all. We will stick behind for now. 3/10 now separates the drivers. Up into the right-hander. Noodle up ahead. This very slow car and still surprised he's still driving that thing. He will move slightly out of the way of the leading pair, but of course you don't need to get out of the way. Noodle's going to squeeze. Chili squeezes him off the track. What is this?
Oh, the stewards have been able to look at that.
It's like Mika Hakkinen and Schumacher lapping the left car at Belgium in, I think, 99. Separating them. Noodle obviously not happy, forcing the lapping car of Chile off track, who basically hit him off the track.
Goes off. I think he went directly into the wall.
Anyway, moving back on to the battle now. Rybread on the back of Chile. Rybread hits the inside. He hits into the back of Chile. Both of them are off in the grass. Rybread goes. That was poor from Rybread. That was a move that was not on for him at all. Very poor driving from him. That will lose the gap that he got from a while ago. Noodle is... I'm not sure what Noodle's doing. He's just sitting there on the track. Curious. I'm sure the race control will look at that later on. He can barely get the car moving. So he'll have to try to limp back to pit lane, which he probably should have done 10 minutes ago. 2 minutes 22 to go in race 1 at Donington Park. He's gonna have to. He's gonna take the. No, never mind. He can't take the short pit lane. He'll hit the short pit lane. Yeah, back on board with the P2 driver of Chile. After that little incident, I'm sure he'll have some sort of damage on his rear left, I believe, was where he got hit. So we will see him hopefully take P2. We were doubting. We did kind of hope for him to do well this race, but unfortunately that start, I believe, probably cost him the race win, if that was even possible. Goose still in the lead, 14.7 seconds now to the next car in P2. He has driven an absolute amazing race. The Scotsman back after a little bit of a hiatus. He didn't really race during the event, if I remember correctly. We're on the last lap now. Goose will stay on board with him through his final lap, unless something interesting happened. Eagle gets past forecast for P5 further back, but we will stay on board with Goose for now. Going through the S section, down onto the brakes. The car will get a little bit unsettled. You're going to have to get the rear stepped out a little bit to get enough rotation into the corner. Past the viaduct, up the hill, through the left, two multi-apex left-handers. Up the hill, takes the right-hander. To quite an easy corner on the surface, but you can go really wide if you're not looking forward to it. Up through the difficult right double apex right-hander onto the back straight. Now we go. Goose has done an absolute incredible job. We'll come up to the chicane where you can take either the layout, depending on what layout you take. We will see him come around the chicane, taking as much of the curb as he can, biting each side of the corner almost poetically. Through, he kicks him a bit of dust. Comes around Melbourne, I think it's Melbourne Bend, I believe. Anyway, it's around the hairpin. He will be celebrating this. It's the first win he's had in a good while, if I can remember. I don't even remember the last time he's gotten a win. But he will round the final corner now here at Donington and will win here in the first ever Aria Cup race. Well done to Goose. We'll go on board with Chile. Chile is going to come around to P2. Great drive for him as well. Great recovery after the poor start he had, where he lost nearly 5 positions, but managed to keep his head and is going to come home for P2. It's a Swedish driver. P2, Rybread for P3 now after the bit of an incident he had with Chile. I'm sure that will be investigated after the race. But we will come on board with Tim. Tim has seen a few races. I've seen him a couple of times, but he isn't as experienced as the others. But will come across the line for P4. Great result from him. And Eagle's going to come home in P5. The amazing oval driver, not the Not the best result from him, but it's still better than last, let's say that. We'll come on to Dama, coming down one of the back straights after Melbourne Bend. Coming into the final corner. First race in BeamGP is a P6. It's quite an impressive result for him. It comes across the line, the blue and blue car. Actually, no, he'll finish P4. Wait, what? Yeah. Okay, yeah. P6 for him. Ignore the timing system. Noodle will come across the line 2 laps down. Still covered in damage. I don't know why he's still on track with that damage, but honestly, 3 laps down, it's quite poor. Rio is going to come across the line in his first race, the pink car, in P7. And we're just waiting for Forecast and P8 to come across the line now and finish the race.
Oh, almost goes off, but
it goes off.
Keep it together.
He is trundling along. You can see he's got major damage on the front left of his car. He's bent it somehow on the lap. We didn't manage to get a look of what happened there, but he will come across the line for P8 now. So your finishing order does not finish as what it says. It is Goose P1, followed by Chili in P2, followed by Rybread in P3, then it'll be, was it Tim Tim and then Eagle, P4 and 5, and then it will be Dom, Rio, Forecast, and then Noodle in last place, 2 laps down. Congratulations to Goose, this is a platinum rated driver. Generally seen around in the higher sports car classes, but we will now go on break while we sort the results, and we will see you back in shortly.
What's up in there with Noodle? Now we're geared up yet again.
Get 5 red lights now here at Donington Park for race 2. It's lights and away we go. Goose gets a good start from P1. Noodle isn't gotten off the line at all. Was not prepared for that start. Anyway, back into turn 1. Tim on the inside of Chili. He does not look for the move. He almost hits the back of Chili, but he did not have any battle. Right on the left-hand side of Goose for P1. Really be at the topple the Scotsman. Once again, the green on green violence. Now he's got on the inside. Goose squeezes him off on the left-hand side. Chili is on the outside. He hits Rybread. Rybread's around, but he's got to keep it on track. Goose off the track into the gravel. He's going to lose a bit of time from that. Tim on the back on P4. Chili in P2. He's got a good run on Goose. He's going to look on the inside here. Up the hill. He has enough overlap. Really bit to make the move. Goose kind of cuts him off because Chili's a bit slow on the apex. Goose goes a bit wide. Rybread is all over the track. He hits off. Tim side by side. Goose is on the off on the left hand side. He's down into P2. Chili in P1. Yeah, Goose is off the track. It's a chaotic start in comparison to the last one. Rybread on the right hand side coming into the chicane. Down the hill. Goose got to look down the inside of Chili into the chicane, looking to get P1 back side by side through the chicane now. Goose gets a worst exit right back now. Got to look on the inside, nearly 2 wide. He's going to make a 3 wide. Goose down the inside. Chili's going to go in defensive maneuver onto the inside. He's going to block Rybread off. Chili keeps P1 at the minute. Goose gets a wider line. He's going to get a better exit off Rybread. Still in P2. It's still close between these guys. They're nearly 3 wide going into the final corner. I'm losing my breath. Please, someone take over.
Alright, now follow with Rybread and I'll give Nova a break. Goose is now in the lead. I think we're gonna get a sweet fight here out of Goose and Rybread as Goose picks up a penalty and so does Rybread as he head now into the first corner. And Rybread goes for the move contact and he takes out Goose. They both go in the gravel.
Goose is still okay, but Rybread's off the track. He's dropping down into P5 now. Chili still in the lead, followed by Goose, then Tim, not too far behind. Then Noodle is in P4 after the not getting away at the start. Real P in P7. And Eagle in P8. We looks like we've lost somebody during the race 1 to race 2. I believe we've lost Dova, unfortunately. Now Eagle's still in pit lane. He believes he's damaged. Anyway, back on board with the battle. Tim on the back of Goose. David versus Goliath. When you call it Eagle almost rolling, or no, Noodle almost rolling the car behind, looking to get P3 off Tim. But anyway, as they come back down the straight, they're going to take the slipstream now. Coming into the chicane, Chili will still lead for now with 0 second penalties. Goose, unfortunately, has 3 seconds of penalties that will apply to him at the end of the race that will affect his position. Anyway, Rybread gets overtakes Rio for P5. He's going to work his way back up the grid now. Coming into Melbourne Bend. Tim looking for the wider line. He takes way too deep. And goes into P4, down to P5. Rybread past him. Noodle in P2. Or 3, sorry. Chili looking, still defending up for P1. Chili has to defend Goose. Goose is getting a much better line through the final corner. Chili fastest lap, 1:43.8. Noodle improves on that, 43.7. Goose on the outside. Chili on the inside. He managed to defend. Off for straight track now. Goose on the inside now, coming through the S's. Down the hill, side by side. The Scotsman versus the Swede down the hill, still side by side. It's neck and neck. They are still side by side. Almost banging doors going into the right-hander. Goose breaks a bit early in preparation for the corner. He doesn't go a bit wide, unlike Chili. Chili will have the apex advantage coming up the hill now. Side by side still. Goose will have the advantage on the inside. Gets a bit squeezed, but he stays on the curb. Still side by side, these two. They've been side by side for nearly a lap.
Donington goes off into the gravel.
Side by side, but no, Chili goes
and Chili off
the corner. Yeah, Chili is off, down into P4 now. Noodle up to P2. Rybread side by side with Noodle, going for P2. Goose is going to look to run away now. Side by side into the chicane. But hard on the brakes now. Noodle on the outside. Rybread on the inside to make a bit of contact. Rybread gets a bit loose. Chili onto the back, hits Rybread. Okay, yeah, I need a break. I'm sorry.
Right, as follow now with right bread. Ooh, almost goes off. Makes contact with Chili. While Noodle still keeps speed 2, but Goose is taking away. As we follow now these two side by side, the American and the Swede, with a Spaniard right ahead of them. Right takes the outer line, goes off the track into the grass, and I will give it away for Chili, as Rio follows right behind Rybread. Now let's see if Tim is going to be able to improve, but he's fallen quite behind from going to battle with Goose. I still think that's a pretty good result for his first race, a rookie, here at Donington. A lot of smoke getting kicked up by the cars. As we still follow now with Rybread and Chili. Rio almost spinning, but I think he's able to keep it together. And he is, luckily, in the pink car, with Tim following right behind them. And let's follow now with Noodle Scruff.
Anyway, back to the action. Your top 3 is Goose, Noodle, followed by Chili. Noodle goes off the track. They make contact once again. Chili and Noodle. Those two are like Hamilton and Verstappen in 2021. They're making contact nearly constantly. Right up to P2 now. Makes 2 positions to 1 straight. Noodle in P2, in P3, he's going to look to get on the back of Rybread, but Chili will also look to get on the back of Noodle. Will he dive down the inside again? Noodle looks for him to move onto the inside. You see him looking, and he makes contact down the inside of Rybread, makes contact, and through goes Chili.
I was following Rybread. Actually, side by side. As they make their way up. Rybread almost. He's fine.
Yeah. Rybread's gone deep. Well.
Rybread's gonna go in for the move. And now let's follow with Chili.
Oh,
And Noodle
again.
making contact.
Yeah, Rio in his first ever race, I believe, technically second ever race, but first ever proper weekend of a car. Now, never mind, he goes off wide. Chile on the back of him now. Side by side, we're able to keep the position in pit lane just back before. He's going to get back into the slipstream. He's going to keep looking for the move into turn one now. Down towards Craner Curves. He'll try to keep the position away. He'll try to keep the position from Chile, but Chile will not be able to get. We'll try to keep him behind for final podium position. P4 is still not a bad result, though. I'm now looking 4-second penalty, unfortunately for Rio. Will unfortunately squander any hopes of a podium he has. However, new news is that Rybert also has a 3-second penalty, so if Chile can close the gap by 4 seconds, he will be able to take advantage of the time penalty and get P2 away from the green car up ahead. We will see in 3 minutes 18 to go. It's about 2 laps left in this when we call it a Grand Prix, in these little Aria cars. Oh, we see Rio going off in the S's, going over the curbs by a long shot. Kind of everyone backing away now.
Oh, almost flipped over there.
Yeah, Rio is getting a bit happy. He's getting a bit bouncy over throughout Melbourne hairpin. And yeah, we're kind of at the point in the race where everyone's starting to die down, but we might be able to see Chile going on a last dash effort to catch Rybred.
I still know with Chile.
Noodle once again unhappy with Chile's driving in this race. He's saying you cannot defend that move, Chile.
And Rio's off.
Oh, once again, Rio is off in his first race, but I think he's still way ahead to keep his P4, though he has 6 seconds worth of penalties now.
Well, we've sure seen the reasoning. Why?
Track limits. Yeah, we're coming on to nearly the final lap of the race. We're kind of in the stage of the race where we are dying down. Everyone's kind of social distancing almost. It's as if it's 2020 all over again here at Donington. But we will see. We have just over a lap to go now here in Donington in these little Aria Cup cars for the first weekend ever of this series. And we also have a lot more series to come later on, but we will talk more about that later. But if you want to join them,
over and Chile flips over.
Oh,
Is he gonna be able to recover though? He might be able to. Let's watch.
These cars
He is able.
are quite resilient to an odd rollover crash or two. As long as he keeps on.
Rio, he's in for a podium on debut
again on his debut here in Donington. But if you want to join these races, head over to beamgp.com/sign up, and you can sign up today to race these new cars, which we will have more of in the coming days. Goose on the final lap now, 10.8 seconds from Rybred. He has nothing to worry about this race. Coming through the old hairpin past Starkey's Bridge now. On the final lap here in the Aria Cup for this week, the Scotsman double Grand Slam almost. It wouldn't be exactly a Grand Slam because he hasn't led every single lap, but he is going to be very happy with said result here today. He's going to come through Coppice. Is it Coppice or Coppice? Coppice. Anyway, weird corner name. Anyway, the S is going to come through the S's. He's going to surely take zero risk through here, but he's going to not. He's going to take the apexes as if he's battling for the lead still. But 5 seconds of penalties will not do anything to deter him from his win. We see Tim off on the gravel at Melbourne. Not really a care for him. Not really a care for Goose. He's going to come around the final corner now. Once again, in race 2. From strength to strength. A double win for him now. Goose comes across the line to win here in Donington once again in the Aria Cup. 2 for 2 he goes in this series. Rybred will come around in P2 with a little bit of damage by the looks of it, but not enough to deter him from getting a lovely P2 position.
Rio is going to lose his podium, sadly, in the last corner. So no podium on debut for Rio, but I think he's going to be very happy with that.
Unfortunate for him. Still a good result. Now he has 8 seconds worth of penalties. There's no point in probably defending it, let's be honest, when you have 8 seconds penalties compared to 1 second for Chile, but he's still going to be really happy with that result. P4. Definitely
one of the better results we've seen over a rookie. Now let's follow
the upside down again. Some way to celebrate. As we see Noodle come around in P5, better than the first result, but probably.
And Rio will go down to P5, sadly, with the penalties getting to him. But still, a respectable result from him.
No, he actually doesn't. He's in pit lane, that's why.
So
he still keeps P5. Luckily, Eagle comes across the line for P6, and that'll be the last of the finishers. Tim and Forecast both DNF in this race, unfortunately. Your final results is Goose, followed by Rybred, followed by Chile, followed by Rio on his debut in P4. And then we will come to Noodle in P5, and then Eagle is your last finisher in P6, with Tim and Forecast being your 2 DNFs for this race. I'll be back.
wouldn't say top 10, but definitely memorable. But I'm really curious as to what happened there with Noodle and Chili, because I believe that might have been intentional move from Noodle. But I'm gonna leave that to the stewards. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna accuse anyone of anything. But I think that might even get him a race ban. I think you saw that too, Nath. What do you make of that contact he had with Chili? Let's have a looky then. Well, I do think we had... Alright, so in the first race we saw Goose leading the race, winning it, and with the second race, the same exact result. Both Rybred and Chili also amazing performances. Quite a lack of pace from Noodle, but hopefully he'll be able to recover in the following races that we have here. And an amazing debut from Rio, snatching P5, I believe, in the second race. I must say that's really outdone most of the rookies that come here to race on the first races. So I'm quite proud of him. I hope we get more action with him in the following races that we have here. and hopefully Eagle might be able to improve in the ovals. But it was still a decent performance that he had here at Donington Park in the Aria Cup. It is also worth mentioning that these cars are quite easy to lose control of, so you can't really blame some of the drivers for not being able to keep it together. They're all giving the best they can. But I do make of it, and it was quite a nice race to watch here, and it sure kept me on my toes. I hope it kept you guys watching. I hope it also kept you on your toes. We do have the Vivas Cup coming up next at Laguna Seca. And tomorrow we have the Formula 4 Challenge at Aragon. And we do have GTJS finally coming back for a 40-minute race on Sunday. As we're now still waiting on Nath to get done with his graphics. And we do see Rybred waiting for an interview. I can't really do that. As we now allow him to enter in the commentary booth, we all welcome now Rybred. Hello there.
Hello.
Now, Rybred, what do you make of that race? Plenty of chaos.
Whew, it was off to a rough start with, our timing system being all messed up with qualifying stuff, but we figured it out. We fixed it. Congrats to Race Control for fixing that. And, first impressions, this is the first race of the ranked calendar. And, everybody's excited. Everybody is expecting goodness. And when goodness isn't necessarily performed with either the car or the system, people get mad, but that's okay. Overall, I think the race one, was pretty good. There was some bumping and bashing. I think I killed Chili. Dive bomb. There was a bunch of dive bombs because the car sometimes has no brakes. I think everybody was not prepared for the tire wear. Tire wear was terrible. At the end we were at 30% fronts, and so we had no braking, and so that's why at the end you see Noodle, Chili, and me just dive bombing each other because we have no grip at all. And so somehow if we can get the tire wear up, maybe that'd be a bonus for the race, or maybe redact the race to 12 minutes. But other than that, I think it was a great race too, especially some deaths, but it's just a rookie race. It sure was. It was a lot of fun. It was kind of hard because we were all struggling with the grip and the braking. But it was, if we had a bit better brakes with the tire wear, I think it'd be a really fun cup car if these little kinks could get sorted out. Because it's just race one. People are going to complain. Even I complained a little bit, but it's just race one, and we have to figure it out together.
It was really well said, I must say, Rybred. Any other questions you might have for us? Any confusions you'd like being cleared up?
I don't think so. Driver-wise, no, I don't think so.
Right on, then.
Thank you.
All right. was quite a lovely race filled with chaos, the usual kind we have here at BeamGP. Hopefully for round 2 we'll see a few improvements on the cars. But now, I must say, if you guys also want to join us, make sure to head over to discord.beamgp.com. If you want to see the drivers' ratings from this race, just head over to beamgp.com. And if you want more of these broadcasts or videos, just head over to our channel, Beam Grand Prix. You're watching it right now. And that's all I have to say, Nath.
Is it defaulted? So, one moment. Yes, as Chris said, we've got a good few races left in this weekend. As you saw, the first Cup in 55 minutes, and then it's F4 Aragon, Hypercars at Le Mans, and F4 Americas at Nashville. We've got plenty more races this weekend, but as Chris said, head on over to the Discord if you would like to have a look at those, or stick around for the next few streams, and they'll also be shown in the end. Well, thank you everyone for watching along. It's been a brilliant couple of races here, and we hope that you enjoy the streams coming up this weekend and all the action. Links to everything will be in the description below.